Hey guys, this is a general reading for the collective of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. How are you, Leo? So this reading is dedicated to Pluto moving into Aquarius. That's a major transit, and it occurred today, early in the morning here in the East Coast. So we're all now under the influence of Pluto in Aquarius. As you noticed, the world did not spin off its axis, but things will change over the course of the next 20 to 21 years. The whole reading is about that, but I'm giving you the background first. You've all been asking for transit readings. So for those of you who are subscribers, you asked, I answered, here it is. But you need a little bit of background first. So that's what I'm going to cover: Pluto's archetypes, Aquarius's archetypes, and then I'll do a reading for how it might show up in your connections, in your relationships. The most important thing to know is that Pluto is a generational planet. It takes him about, I'm spitballing here, 20 years to move through a sign. This transit into Aquarius hasn't occurred. And by the way, I kind of have notes everywhere. So if you see me looking around, I'm trying to keep it all together. Okay, this transit has not occurred since the 18th century. So that was the French Revolution, the American War of Independence, the rise of classical music, and the development of the very first theory about black holes. So this is going to represent another major shift for the collective. We've kind of come 240 years forward, moving out of Capricorn, which is about rules and structures and the patriarchy, which I talked about when Saturn was moving into Pisces, because Saturn rules Capricorn. So you've probably already heard, if you've watched the last series of readings, a little bit about that archetype. And so then Pluto moves out of that and into Aquarius, which is going to focus more on equal opportunities for progress for all, for the collective. Technology innovations, ideas, individualism, progressive programs, and Pluto, wherever he goes, brings, says, well, we've got to improve, but in order to improve, we have to knock down what's in the way of that. So Pluto has a bit of a destructive quality. Think about when Pluto first moved into Capricorn, 2007, 2008. What happened? The banks collapsed, the housing markets collapsed. What just happened as Pluto moved out of the last degree of Capricorn? Banks shutting down and the housing market kind of tanking, and properties were selling for big bucks, and now you can't give them away. So we see Pluto says, hey, did you learn your lesson? So now we're coming back to themes around revolution. Since the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, we had revolution. The archetype of Pluto, I'm just going to say, first of all, it's subconscious forces. So it's not something we walk around consciously aware of. Pluto rules everything below the surface, referred to as the Lord of the Underworld. On the upside, he's also about renewal and rebirth. Think of the Judgment card in Tarot, is a card of Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio in the 8th house. So it is about death and, change and growth and transformation. So the archetype of Pluto for you is going to represent how you transform and regenerate from things that have broken down in your life, in your relationships, etc. And now that Pluto is on the cusp, meaning he's at 0 degrees of Aquarius, he's only going to be there till June. Sometime in May, he turns retrograde, and then June 11th, he's back into Capricorn. And then he does this crisscross between Aquarius and Capricorn for a little while, and he doesn't enter Aquarius for earnest, meaning to stay, until November of 2024, where he will be until January of 2024. Okay, so it's a long transit, but I wanted to give you a little bit of that information. Aquarius, ruled by the unpredictable planet of Uranus, is all about expect the unexpected. Anything can happen and probably will. So Aquarius is sort of the unicorn of the zodiac, freedom-loving, independent, free-thinking, forward-moving, symbolizes our need for individuality, for getting beyond the predictability of what we term reality. It's like, well, there could be another reality. Let's go find it. This is about tapping into our enlightened global consciousness. So Pluto will have more of an impact on us globally as a collective for humanitarian purposes, for the growth and progress of the planet. Think about those themes. But we're going to jump in for your relationships. I do want to mention, I know this is running long, 2 groups, because it's a generational planet, that will be most impacted on a personal level are millennials born between 1983 and 1995, depending on the month. If you have Pluto in Scorpio, you're going to have your Pluto square. And a square is a very difficult angle. It means you're going to bump up against an inanimate object. Think floor meets wall, right? There's very little give there. So that could be some challenging energy. Boomers born between 1939 and 1958 will have Pluto in Leo, and they will have a Pluto opposition because Leo is opposite Aquarius. So for those of you who are boomers with Pluto in Leo, the opposition is like a dance. It's a little bit of a tango. There's got to be a little bit of a give. So I just wanted to make, but of course, it depends what the degree point is because Pluto's starting at 0 degrees and takes 20 years to move through a sign. If you have Pluto at late degrees, you may not see this experience for the next 15 to 20 years. Okay, let's jump in. I hope you found that instructive. But of course, the death card, Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. So something releasing, something being released so you can have the change that's needed to grow and transform. That's the overall energy. This first row is going to be about the Aquarian influence. The second row is Pluto's influence. Wow, wow, wow. And the third row is just the connection in general and how it might progress. I like that we have the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. I'm going to take that because it feels to me very much like Pluto, right? Something ends, but then it gets reborn, new beginnings. So I like that. So for you, Leo, here we have, and you could be here as a cross watcher, that's fine. We have, and I'm kind of looking past, present, future for these first 2 rows a little bit. I feel like there's something you moved beyond or wanted to move beyond with that 6 of Wands, kind of might have been a tower moment somewhere along the way and kind of getting beyond the turbulence of it all. And there's been this sort of holding pattern, waiting for something. And it's interesting because that came out in the morning musing. It felt to me like there was something that was long overdue. And that's what I'm seeing. And then moving forward, it could, be that you need to just trust your intuition because you may be in new territory. We do see this Ace of Pentacles, and that can be a little bit triggering. There can be some fear around the unknown, and maybe even some apprehension about something that may return. So we're going to look at that. Here we've got Pluto. In the past, yeah, there was definitely some sabotage afoot. That's why the 6 of Wands. I feel like, I'm sorry, 6 of Swords. I just feel like something either there was some energy of feeling set up or some sabotage or an unfair fight. Sometimes the 5 of Swords is a zero-sum game, right? Somebody's going to get really badly hurt. And to me, it can be that a bad choice was made, the 5 of Swords, an unfortunate choice that led to something that feels like it was kind of came up and bit you. So we have that, but then you wanted to move beyond it. And here we go. Pluto says, okay, forward motion. This is a victory card, triumph. The Chariot here in the middle, it's like Chariot's always moving away from something or towards something, always for your highest good. And going forward, I see something brand new and exciting. It feels to me like there could be renewal of passion here, either with somebody from the past or somebody brand new. Might it spark a little bit of concern or apprehension? Sure. And if I go down to the connection in the same row, There you are, Leo. King of Wands. So something's being triggered maybe in a new and exciting way. I'm going to say it that way. And it's long overdue. It's something that you've waited for. So moving to the connection, but there's been this stuck energy because we had this Five of Swords, the Six of Swords getting beyond it. And here we've just been like stuck in the relationship. So personally, you may have moved on. Personally. Energetically in the connection, not so much. Feeling pretty stuck, maybe overthinking some things or feeling like a lot of self-doubt, hesitation. We've got the Queen of Cups. Both these cards are Cancerian energy. So if you're dealing with Cancer or have Cancer in a prominent part of your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus especially, that may just be some extra confirmation of you. But there is love and passion here. Please note, she has her back to that Queen of Wands. She's not going to see him coming. So I think that that's interesting since Pluto in Aquarius takes on the temperament or the disposition of the planet that rules the sign. So Uranus, the planet of you won't see it coming, rules Aquarius. So Pluto has kind of this shock and awe aspect to him in this sign. Okay, so we're moving along here. I keep trying to shorten up the intro, guys, but it's so interesting and fascinating. And when are you going to, explore this again? I mean, I'm 61, so I'm riding Pluto through Aquarius probably to the end of my life. I may not ever see Pluto move into Pisces. I'll be 81 about that time. I know. Death card there. Yes, an end to this very painful energy of sabotage or an unfair fight or, yes, an end to a very painful cycle, a release of it. So there's healing. Oh my gosh. And this came out in the morning musing, that 10 of Swords. And I felt the same way about it there as I do now. It is a finality, an end of a painful cycle, a sort of release of the tension that was held by that Five of Swords, feeling set up, feeling duped, maybe making a decision or a choice that you might have had the best intentions with, and then it came back and bit you, and there's healing from that. So that's the change, and so you can wait for it, begin again, and be rewarded. Just so you know, there is that rise again energy of Pluto. So let's look at, I want to look at the Seven of Pentacles and the Moon. Yeah. You've been waiting. Oh my gosh, this kind of makes me want to cry. Waiting to release the pain of the betrayal. It's for so long. There's been like almost some reluctance to let it go. Notice the death card underneath when I pull from the bottom of the deck. For those of you who are new, by the way, welcome. Please join us here, subscribe. When I pull from the bottom of the deck, I'm looking at your unconscious awareness and looking at what's playing out behind the scenes or rising up in your psyche. It feels to me like you're really ready to let this go. It's taken you forever to get to this moment, but you are definitely releasing something that caused you a great deal of pain. Could be something, could be someone, could just be, right, the residual leftover remnants of something that really caused, I mean, you may have already moved on. I kind of feel like you did. Whoever I'm talking to here, you cut your losses and you kept moving and you found some peace of mind perhaps, or at least you opted out of this, whatever this is. You kind of opted out of it, is how it's coming across to me. Like, I'm not going to tangle with this because this is nastiness, and yet you're still left with the pain of the betrayal. So I see a big release coming. And of course, I'm really mainly concerned with the peeking in the door of Pluto in Aquarius just from now till June 11th. This is not talking about the next 20 years. I'm really kind of looking at the preview of what's going to be released, what's going to be healed, what's going to be the next chapter. the next evolution of you in this connection, or maybe even for some of you in a new connection. All right. So I want to kind of look at this Five of Swords. This is the past. All right. Oof. So there was an ending, or possibly you were just cut out of this person's life and kind of at their hand. This is Aquarius, by the way, as is this card, Aquarius and Capricorn. So I'm feeling something like there was a lot of instability. This is, backward. I'm looking sort of more when Pluto was in Capricorn, actually. And this deception, this betrayal, this sabotage, feeling set up, feeling cut out. Very difficult chapter. Very difficult chapter. I know, deep breaths, guys. Especially because I'm talking about Pluto in the past here, which means it was in Capricorn, and this is Aquarius and Capricorn. It's Saturn's energy of harsh lessons being learned. I know. So let's look at the Chariot and the Ace of Wands. Where is this Chariot taking us? Where is Pluto allowing it to take us? Taking us to some form of potential reconciliation. I'm feeling like first it's about when the Hanged Man lands on the Chariot, the Hanged Man doesn't move, so the Chariot can't. That's part of the clarification process. Is what lands on the card tells you whether or not it's moving. Same thing with the Wheel of Fortune, etc. It's the Knights. So I feel like there's this readiness to move forward, right? We're getting a peek in the window of Pluto and Aquarius. There's a readiness to move forward. There's a readiness to kind of start fresh. There's a readiness for some kind of reconciliation that may revive the passion, or that may set you on the path of just reconciling it for yourself and moving forward with excitement for your future in a new relationship. So I'm saying that because we've got two aces here. I don't see the Ace of Cups yet, but I'm feeling like there's some new energy coming in for some of you, and for others of you, there's renewal, right? Because that's Pluto's realm, and that's what we're talking about. So I'm feeling the Hanged Man is saying, take a look from the 30,000-foot view. Make sure you've examined the situation that you're coming from, that you're moving out of, that you're releasing from all angles. Maybe with fresh eyes, new perspective, run it by a trusted friend or someone that you believe would be honest and not just take your side in everything, right? And because there's something to learn from it. The Page of Pentacles always learns. There's something to learn from investing a little bit of time. So this Hanged Man is representing some measure of a little bit of a standstill as you wait for some enlightenment, as you examine the situation and prepare to move forward, prepare to move on with excitement and passion and gusto and possibly reconciliation. So I do feel you're going to buy a little bit of time here, which might be very helpful. So I want to see the Queen of Cups with the King of Wands. That popped out. Five of Wands, Knight of Cups, Emperor. Well, the Emperor was in the morning musing, so now I know I'm on the right track. Yeah, I definitely feel there's divine masculine energy coming toward you with messages from their heart, with some form of sincerity, with an offer of love. It kind of tells me that on some level, I love the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and we've got the passion over here in the King of Wands, which is Leo energy, but it feels to me like there's been some form of competition. I feel like this Five of Swords energy represents the part of where you felt sabotaged and cut out. So there could have been third party for some of you, and you got the short end of the stick. But that's about to be resolved. That's about to be explored on an emotional level. And I feel that that explanation is coming from a divine masculine. So that's what I've got for you. Wow, wow, wow. And again, a lot of this could unfold over the course of the next few months, or it could just be your peeking in the window of what might unfold going forward. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the astrology here, but before I do that, there is a link in the description box in the first sentence that will take you to an extended, and we're going to be talking about our emperor here, who is also the King of Wands, because the emperor is all 4 kings rolled into one. So it is the emperor, divine masculine energy. That's what I'll be looking at. Same kind of format, Aquarius, Pluto, but then their third row will be their intentions toward you and the connection going forward. And I close out with some oracles. So let's go. Death card is Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. Star is Aquarius, so that's kind of spot on. We have the death card was out twice. The moon is Pisces. We've got more Aquarius here in the King of Swords, and in the world is Aquarius and Capricorn. Card of Saturn. We have the Chariot is Cancerian energy. And by the way, Mars is moving into Cancer, like in 2 days from now, I think on the 25th. So this is Pisces, is the Hanged Man. The Page of Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Queen of Cups is more Cancerian energy. The Knight of Cups is Pisces, Aries in the Emperor, and Leo in the King of Wands. Powerful reading for you, Leo. The link to the extended is below. I'll see you there in a second. Otherwise, bye for now.